أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا توبوا إلى الله توبة نصوحا عسى ربكم أن يكفر عنكم سيئاتكم ويدخلكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار يوم لا يخزي الله النبي والذين آمنوا معه نورهم يسعى بين أيديهم وبأيمانهم يقولون ربنا أتمم لنا نورنا واغفر لنا إنك على كل شيء قدير. يا أيها النبي جاهد الكفار والمنافقين واغلظ عليهم ومأواهم جهنم وبئس المصير. ضرب الله مثلا للذين كفروا امرأة نوح وامرأة لوط كانتا تحت عبدين من عبادنا صالحين فخانتاهما فلم يغنيا عنهما من الله شيئا وقيل ادخلا النار مع الداخلين. وضرب الله مثلا للذين آمنوا امرأة فرعون إذ قالت رب ابن لي عندك بيتا في الجنة ونجني من فرعون وعمله ونجني من القوم الظالمين. ومريم ابنة عمران التي أحسنت فرجها فنفخنا فيه من روحنا وصدقت بكلمات ربها وكتبه وكانت من القانتين. صدق الله العظيم.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله تبارك وتعالى عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا وقال إنني من المسلمين. ولا تستوي الحسنة ولا السيئة ادفع بالتي هي أحسن فإذا الذي بينك وبينه عداوة كأنه ولي حميم. وقال تعالى ادع إلى سنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن إن ربك هو أعلم بمن ضل عن سبيله وهو أعلم بالمهتدين. وقال تعالى قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني وسبحان الله وما أنا من المشركين. وقال تعالى قال رب إني دعوت قومي ليلا ونهارا فلم يزدهم دعائي إلا فرارا وإني كلما دعوتهم لتغفر لهم جعلوا أصابعهم في آذانهم واستغشوا ثيابهم وأصروا واستكبروا استكبارا ثم إني دعوتهم جهارا ثم إني أعلنت لهم وأسررت لهم إسرارا فقلت استغفروا ربكم إنه كان غفارا يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويمددكم بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من دعا إلى هدى كان له من الأجر مثل أجور من تبعه لا ينقص ذلك من أجورهم شيئا ومن دعا إلى ضلالة كان عليه من الوزر مثل أوزار من تبعه لا ينقص ذلك من أوزارهم شيئا. وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام: من دل على خير فله مثل أجر فاعله. وقال عليه السلام: بلغوا عني ولو آية. أو كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. وصدق رسوله النبي الأمي الكريم ورازقنا من الشاهدين إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. صدروا شريف for everybody. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Respected elders, brothers, friends, young ones, ladies listening at home, first of all we have to do shukr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shukr of many things. Shukr of zahiri ni'mat, batini ni'mat, the ni'mats which we can see, the ni'mats which we can't see. Blessings of Allah showering upon us day and night, 24/7. Every breath we take with afiyat is a ni'mat. We breathe 24,000 times in 24 hours. We need to do shukr of every breath with afiyat. May Allah give us tawfiq to do shukr. Amen. Then shukr of the ni'mat of iman, ni'mat of Islam, ni'mat of ihsan, ni'mat of Quran, ni'mat of hadith, ni'mat of namaz, roza, zakat, hajj. So much ruhani, spiritual ni'mats which Allah has given us. And then shukr for this beautiful masjid. MashaAllah, Allah gave us this beautiful, nice masjid. Luqman Sahab, our brother Yunus Sahab, and everybody who helped in the construction of the masjid. Such a nice masjid. May Allah give us tawfiq to utilize it in the proper manner. Respected elders, brothers, friends, this program is about our beautiful work of da'wah, inviting people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it is important that we talk about the subject, the topic. I would like to thank our brothers connected to the da'wah work, Ayub Bhai, Yunus Bhai, Harun Bhai, Haji Harun Sahab, arranged this program in our local masjid. May Allah reward them in full, everybody who's connected to the da'wah work. Why this program now? Today is the 2nd of December. Christmas holidays are in front of us. Rather than staying at home, doing nothing, or watching Christmas movies, may Allah protect us. Would it not be better to go out in the path of Allah? For holidays, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, no school, no college, no uni. Rather than wasting time, go out in the path of Allah. Spend time in the path of Allah. You spend 10 days in the path of Allah. Imagine 10 days, so much valuable time. 10 days you'll be sitting in the masjid. 10 days you'll be going out inviting other people to Allah. 10 days you'll be reading lots of Quran. 10 days you'll be doing lots of zikr. 10 days you'll be doing tasheeh, tajweed of your Quran Sharif. You'll be sitting in the ta'aleem. You'll be listening to the bayan. So much good will come in you if you go out and spend these days in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So why not spend some time? Go in the path of Allah. Beautiful world. Tell me, my friends, who is it in this day and age? Which group beside our Jamaat Tabligh work? Which group is there that goes and knocks on people's doors and calls them towards Masjid? Subhanallah. Tabligh brothers are the only brothers, in spite of rain, in spite of cold, in spite of snow, in spite of ice, no matter what the weather is, they go and call people. Tabligh work came in this country in the 1950s and 60s. Hafiz Patel Sahab Rahmatullahi alayhi in Dewsbury, he was the only one who used to go out in the mornings, in the afternoon, evening, Sometimes there would be heavy snow up to the knees. Havisab would be wearing the masjid, come and pray namaz with me. It was his qurbani that spread the work throughout the whole of UK and the whole of Europe. So our Jamaati brothers are the only ones who go and knock on people's doors and call them to the masjid. Their only aim is to bring them to the masjid and make them pray namaz. Whether you go Jamaat or not go in Jamaat, it's up to you. But at least come to the masjid and pray your namaz, right? Namaz is for us. Namaz is nothing optional. Some people think, well, if I pray, if I want to pray, if I don't want to pray, then I'll skip it. No, my friend. It's an obligation. It's the haqq of Allah upon you. You will be asked whether you fulfill that haqq of Allah. You will be questioned about it on the day of Qiyamah. If you prayed 5 times a day, you fulfilled the haqq of Allah, you bowed your head in front of Allah, you put your forehead on the ground in front of Allah 5 times a day, chutti, maafi, jao. If everything else is maaf, Jannat mein le jao. Lekin if there is deficiency, there will be hisab. On one side, the amount of salah that was due on you since you became baligh till the time you died. Let's say, for example, you died at the age of 65. You became baligh at the age of 15. So you have 50 years namaz due on you. 365 days in a year. Roughly 1800 namaz per year. And for 50 years, roughly 90,000 namaz. 90,000 namaz, roughly. So that's what's due on you. And on the other side, what you had prayed. And then there's the deficit. This is the deficit. This is what you missed. Where is this namaz? Why did you not pray? You're stuck. No answer. If your namaz is not right, you're stuck there, and you'll be stuck in the hisab of your roza, you'll be stuck in the hisab of your zakat, you'll be stuck in the hisab of your hajj, you'll be stuck in the hisab of your muamalat and dealing with one another, you'll be stuck in your hisab of muashara, dealing with you and how you dealt with them, you'll be stuck everywhere. But if your namaz was proper, then with the other matters, Allah will be flexible, lenient, Allah will be easy. So our Tablighi Jamaat is the only Jamaat which goes out and calls people towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, over here at least we bring them, we say, chalo bhai Jamaat mein chalo, 3 days, 10 days, good for you. In other places, you can't even see that, you can only North America. I went out for Gasht with Dr. Umar Saab, who was my host. And he said, he's just around the corner. It was Ramzan, I went to Taraweeh. I'm talking about a long time ago, 1985. So half an hour's drive to do Gasht of one person. I kept reading my Quran because it was Ramzan, I was preparing for Taraweeh, reading my Quran. Half an hour going, half an hour coming, I read lots of Quran, alhamdulillah. And Dr. Saab was driving. We went there to Gasht of one person. One person only. And we explained to him Iman, Yaqeen, and we just invited him to come to the masjid for one namaz. Bas, ek namaz ke liye masjid mein aa jao. Isha ki namaz masjid mein aake padh lena. That's the only da'wat we gave. We couldn't say it come and go in the path of Allah 3 days, 10 days, 4 mahina, chilla. You can't even talk about that. Only da'wat to him was for coming to the masjid and praying namaz. Now his Iman level was so low. Bichara, he was an Arab brother from one of the Arab countries. And he had his American girlfriend. She was in shortcut. And she came and sat right with him, legs stretched out right in front of us. But astaghfirullah, and just looked down to what la hawla wa la quwwata illa astaghfar all the way. And there is Dr. Saab. He's talking about Iman, Yaqeen, Allah, Akhirat. And at the end of that, the only sentence that came out of his mouth was, yeah, I believe in God. It took Dr. Saab half an hour's taqreer to get this sentence out of his mouth. Imagine how low level his Iman had gone. This is what happens when you fall for the dunya. You're just into dunya, paisa, degree, college, uni, running around, and you will go into wrong, places, wrong route. Your Iman level drops. This is why in our da'wah work, the main thing we need to focus on is Iman Yaqeen. Iman Yaqeen. When you go out for Gasht, we talk to the other person about Iman Yaqeen. Believe in Allah, believe in the Qudrat of Allah, power of Allah, believe in Akhirat, life after death, Jannat, Jahannam. We have to have Yaqeen on that. The tenets of Iman, the 6 tenets of Iman. Amantu billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusulihi wal yawmil akhir wal qadari khayrihi wa sharrihi min Allah ta'ala. We have to believe in these 6 tenets of faith, Iman. We invite people to believe in these things. We apna Iman sahi karo, Iman pukhta karo, Iman mazboot karo. Strengthen your Iman. Make sure your Iman, your Yaqeen, your faith in Allah is strong. You know, while preparing for this bayan, I was reading some things. And Hazrat Ji Maulana Ilyas Sahab, Rahmatullahi alayhi, Bani Tabligh, I read regarding him that once Hazrat Ji was sitting and he was worried about da'wah work among the Arabs. And he said we should go to Haramain Sharifain and gather some of our Arab ulama and explain to them that this da'wah work came from you. The first da'i is Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the Sahabi Kiram Ridwanullahi alayhi majma'een. So you should get involved in this da'wah work and you should take this work on. If you take it on board and if you spread it, so much good will come around the world. So Hazrat prepared a group of 30 ulama and elders, seniors, and they went to Hijaz Muqaddas, they traveled to Haramain Sharif. In Makkah Mukarramah, in Madrasa Solatiyah, Maulana Salim Saab was the principal of the Madrasa Solatiyah. So Hazrat requested him to gather the Maqami Ulama Kiram so he can put this initiative in front of them. So they gathered. And like our Tabligh brothers, dawah, food, dawah, khana, pina, fruit, waghaira. And then afterwards Hazrat said, I've come to ask you one question. There's so much pasti and downfall among the Muslims. Deen is so much down. What is the reason for that? Can you answer this question to me? You are ulama kiram. And some of them said that because there is lack of ilm and knowledge. There is so much jahalat. People don't know deen, iman. That's why they are distant from the deen, and that's why there's so much fasad and bored and distance from the deen. So Hazrat Maulana Ilyas Sahab Rahmatullah alayhi asked that, can you tell me, what is ilm more in the society now, or was it more in the time of the Sahaba? How many Sahaba were Hafiz? How many Sahaba were Ulama? And how many Hafiz do we get today? And how many Ulama do we have in the society? This ilm deen, do you have more Ulama and Hafiz now, or did you have more Ulama and Hafiz in that time? Then of course we have more Ulama now, more Hafiz now. Then Hazrat said, well, it seems that the lack of ilm is not the reason for our downfall, and distance from deen could be something else. Someone said it could be lack of nizam and discipline. Intizam. There's no tanzeem, no management, no body of Muslims which can keep everybody together and call them and invite them to deen and manage all their affairs. So Hazrat said there are lots of tanzeems and lots of groups and sects and lots of people who are inviting people to the deen. And lots of work is going on. Ulama, madaris, masajid, makatib, everything. Lots of, there was not this much in the time of the Sahaba and Tabi'een. So it could not be lack of nizam and organization and management. They said, Hazrat, it could be lack of wealth And in today's terms, someone might say weapons and this and that, that people are suffering so much around the world. Hazrat said, well, do you have more wealth today, or Sahaba had more wealth at the time? Again, they said, Hazrat, you are right. We have so much wealth today, so many things today, so many Muslim countries, still there's downfall. And then they said, Hazrat, you tell us, what is the reason? And Hazrat said, in my understanding, the only reason why people are far away from deen is their lack of iman, yaqeen, faith, belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They need to strengthen their iman and yaqeen, faith, and that will bring us all back to deen and unite us, and that is what will take us forward. Hazrat said, when iman and yaqeen was strong, the Sahaba put threw their horses onto the ocean, and the horses began running on water on the sea like they would be. Here the Sahabi, they were engaged in the battle, and the army of Kisra. This is a formidable army, and huge battle took place, and the Sahaba were winning the battle, and the Persian army was retreating, and they came to the waters, the large river, and they had bridges over it, and some of the army remained here fighting, and the other army crossed the bridges and ran to the other side. And then, in order to protect themselves, they cut off the bridges. Now, Sahaba, when they got, defeated those who were standing there and came to the water, they realized the trick of the Persian army. And they said, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Allah, we were just about to win the battle. Now they've done this Makkari frame and this plot. Please help us to cross the other side and win the battle altogether. In one riwayat, it is written their leader at the time was Sayyidina Ala ibn al-Hazrami radiyallahu anhu, along with Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu anhu. And he made dua with 4 names of Allah. Ya Alim, Ya Halim, Ya Ali, Ya Azim. Ya Alim, Ya Ali, Ya Azim, Ya Ali. These names are very powerful names. If you ever get stuck in some problem, call upon Allah with these names. Problem, accident, someone, enemy trying to harm you, or if you get stuck in your exams in school, college, uni, right? Read these names of Allah and say, Allah, please help me. What are the names? Ya Alimu, Ya Halim, Alim Halim, Ya Alimu, Ya Halim, Ya Aliyu, Ya Azim, Ya Aliyu, Ya Azim, Ya Alimu, Ya Halim, Ya Aliyu, Ya Azim, Ya Alimu, Ya Halim, Ya Aliyu, Ya Azim. Repeat it a few times. And then say, Allah, please help me. And Allah's help will inshallah definitely come. This Sahabi made this dua. And then he thrust his horse onto the water, and it started running on the water without his feet or his saddle getting wet. No splash of water. He's like running on cement road. And when the Sahaba saw that their leader is running on the water, they also put their horses in and they went onto the other side. These are this is Malaika, angels coming. These are no human beings. And they ran. And they fled. And Sahaba won the battle. Said this was the level of their iman. This was the level of the yaqeen which took them forward. This is what is missing. Drop. We don't have that strong iman and yaqeen, that strong belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's faded away. Today we see some youngsters questioning about Allah. Where is Allah? Where is Allah? Why is Allah not doing this? Why is Allah not doing that? Hey, is that the way to behave with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah, tawbah, tawbah, astaghfirullah. This is huge disrespect and beadbi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should never question Allah in this manner. But Allah is Allah. Allah is Allah. Allah is Allah. He has full control over the whole universe. Anything that happens around the world, Allah knows best. He is Alim, He is Hakim, He is wise. He knows what He's doing. He doesn't need our mashwara. We should not behave in this manner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should be connected to Allah at all times. These tough times which our brothers and sisters around the world, especially in Palestine and Masjid are going through, They are a test for you and me. Do we turn to Allah? Do we ever shed a few tears in front of Allah? Do we wake up at night in tahajjud and cry before Allah to help those Muslim brothers and sisters? It's not just a test for them, it's a test for us as well. Cry in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we do this, we'll be successful. If not, we are failing. If we start objecting on Allah, questioning Allah, this is, this shows the deficiency and reduction in our iman and yaqeen. We need to make our iman and yaqeen strong on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hand over all our affairs to Him. Hazrat Ji Maulana Ilyas have said, the reason for our downfall and our distance from Deen is that our iman levels have dropped. So they said, then Hazrat, how can we increase our level of iman? And Hazrat said, one of the ways of increasing our iman level is by giving da'wat, inviting people, going to their homes, calling them over, bringing them to the masjid, keeping them in the masjid for a while, talking about deen, iman, yaqeen. And they agreed. They said, you are right. We need to go out. And in the beginning, there was a lot of work of da'wah among the Arabian lands. Hazrat Ji Maulana Ilyas Sahab passed away in 1944. And his son, Hazrat Ji Maulana Yusuf Kandarbi Sahab, became the Amir. And he was Amir until his death in 1965. So during these 20 years, 20 plus years, Hazrat took the da'wah work on another scale. It spread from India to all over the world. Hazrat Ji sometimes would say in his bayan in Josh that I can see this da'wah work reaching the far corners of America and Russia and Europe and everywhere around the world. They were only in India at the time, but Hazrat could see that. And Hazrat's gone 1965, maybe 50, 60 years ago. But we can see the prophecy which Hazrat had made. It's gone around the world, it's spread around the world. And Hazrat Ji used to go in Jamaat to Haramain Sharifain. In Haram Sharif, there were no restrictions. You find Riyazul Jannah in Masjid Nabawi Sharif, there were no restrictions at the time. And the Arabs would join him, and Hazrat would speak in perfect, fluent Arabic. Because Hazrat was an author. He used to author and write books in Arabic language. Hayatul Sahaba is in Arabic. Sharru Manil Athar Shara, Amanil Ahbab is in Arabic. Hazrat's main focus was on Tasneef Ta'aleem. Until his father, Hazrat Ji Maulana Ilyas Sahab, passed away, Hazrat Ji Maulana Yusuf Sahab Rahmatullahi was not so much into Tabligh. He was more focused on teaching and studying and writing books. This is why Hazrat Ji would sometimes say to Maulana Yusuf Sahab as well, Yusuf, do work. Yusuf, aa jao is kam mein. Isme, haan, main aunga, inshallah. You know how youngsters are. Abba jab kuch kehte hain, to dheel dhal karte hain, ya chalenge, dekhi jayegi. So Hazrat Ji was also in that way. But when his father passed away, he got that shock. Oh, father's gone suddenly. And Hazrat Sheikh Zakaria Rahmatullah, who is the teacher of Hazrat Maulana Yusuf Sahab, he taught him Bukhari Sharif. And he is cousin as well. Because Maulana Ilyas Sahab is his chacha, uncle. So Hazrat Ji, Hazrat Sheikh Zakaria Rahmatullah, he came immediately from Saharanpur to Nizamuddin. And he heard everything, what happened. And he was informed that Hazrat Ji Maulana Ilyas Sahab, in his final moments, called Hazrat Ji Maulana Yusuf Sahab close to him and hugged him and pressed him for a long time. And then released him, and then he said, Beta, abhi kaam tumne aapne batana. They see that Hazrat Ji Maulana Ilyas Sahab transferred his nisbat to Hazrat Ji Maulana Yusuf Sahab during that final moment. So Hazrat Sheikh Zakaria Rahmatullah in the mashwara about who should be the next Amir, there were many elders and seniors. Hazrat Ji Maulana Yusuf Sahab was still young, but Hazrat Sheikh Rahmatullah said, Yusuf should be the Amir. And Hazrat Sheikh's opinion was taken. Hazrat Ji Maulana Yusuf Sahab was appointed the Amir, and he took the da'wah work on another level. And he used to say, Iman, Yaqeen, this is what our whole work is based on. This is why after Fajr we talk about 6 points. And they are all about Iman Yaqeen. There's no masala, masail in there. He said, we only focus on Iman Yaqeen. We bring everyone together with masail, with either Hanfi, Shafi, Maliki, Hanbali, Ikhtilaf. But this dispute should be on one side. That's what the ulama kiram discuss. Our work should be focused only on Iman and Yaqeen. Belief, strengthening our Iman and Yaqeen. Our Iman should be like the Iman of Sahaba, Ridwanullahi alayhim. Like the Iman of the children of Sahaba, Ridwanullahi alayhim. They had the love of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. How they sacrificed their lives for Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Their wealth, their property, their time. You know, we were reading this hadith this morning in Riyadus Salihin. Hazrat Anas ibn Malik radiyallahu anhu, who is the khadim of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He was a young boy when Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wasallam arrived in Medina Sharif. After a few days, his mom brought Anas radiyallahu anhu to Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He said, Ya Rasulullah, my son Anas is only 10 years old, but he is very intelligent. He's very intelligent young boy. Ulamun qayyisun, zakiyun. Very intelligent. Please accept him for your khidmat. Let him do your khidmat. So Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, okay. Now, he would sleep at his mom's house, but during the day, in the morning, he would come to Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam and be in his khidmat and stay close to him. He would stay with him throughout the day, with namaz, any work to be done, he would do that work. Go and call so and so, he would go rush and call that person, do this work for me, and he would do that work. And as a child, of course, children sometimes misbehave as well. So he said, sometimes I misbehave as well. But throughout the 10 years, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam never said oof to him. He never said, why do you do this? He never said, why did you not do this? He was an extremely gentle, cool and calm personality. Very kind, very soft. He says that once he told me to go and do something, and I was a bit tired at the time, my mood was not there. He said, yeah, okay, I'm going. But when I went outside, I was passing by these kids who were playing some game. So I stood there, started watching them. I was really interested in that game. A long time had passed, and I forgot what Abdur had told me and why he had sent me. After a while, I see that Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam comes from behind me. He gets hold of me, like sometimes, we get hold of a kid and put our hands on his eyes. Who am I? So Abdur also holds hold of him. And he said, Anas, have you done what I told you to do? Oh yeah, I'm going now. I'm going. And he ran and did the work. He said, Abdur was nice, gentle, cheerful. He never rebuked me, never shouted at me. So Anas ibn Malik did the khidmat of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam for how many years? 10 years. 10 years. And Abdur was very happy. Abdur gave him dua. He said, Allahumma aksir mala wa waladu barik lahu fi umrihi wa aksir lahu. Allah, give him lots of wealth, give him lots of children, and give him long life and forgive him. Anas says, I've seen the first two, I'm hoping for the third one as well. He said, Mal, Hazrat Anas was very wealthy. He was so wealthy, he had, property, land near Basra, and that whole land, it looked like his own village. And he had so many children and grandchildren that on one occasion, his daughter told him that up to now we have buried 120 from our children and grandchildren. And he had lots of wealth, lots of family, and he had a long life. He lived for 105 years. This was all barakat of khidmat. So my young boys sitting over here, do khidmat of your ustad, your teacher. Be nice to them. Do khidmat of your parents. Parents' dua is very powerful. Your mother's dua is very powerful. Your father's dua is very powerful. Hazrat Anas did khidmat, and the khidmat is what brought him the dua of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That 10 years khidmat, imagine. Sometimes even one khidmat brings dua. Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu, he was only 13 when Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wa sallam died. He came to Medina Munawwara at Fath Makkah in the year 8 after Hijrah. He only stayed in Medina Sharif for 2 years plus. Now, because he was cousin of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was very close to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He once did khidmat of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam went for istinja because he used to go out on the outskirts for istinja, and he needed to walk some water for wuzu, etc. When he came back, the wuzu water was ready. The lota was prepared. So he said, "Who prepared this wuzu water for me?" Normally he would have to go to the large container because there's no taps, no running water in their homes. They would have to go to a container, large container, take water out, use it, and then do wuzu with it. He said, "Who did this khidmat? Who put this water here for me?" And Abdullah ibn Abbas said, "I did." And he was so happy for this khidmat that he gave him dua. Allahumma faqihhu fi d-deen wa 'allimhu at-tafsir wa at-ta'wil. Allah, give him the understanding of deen and teach him the tafsir and ta'wil, meaning interpretation of Quran Sharif. This dua got to him so much that he became Hibrul Ummah, the greatest mufassir among the Ummah. So khidmat, dua. Hazrat Anas did lots of khidmat. So the hadith says that Hazrat Anas radiallahu anhu was going somewhere, and with him was Hazrat Jarir ibn Abdullah al-Bajali radiallahu anhu. Now Jarir ibn Abdullah al-Bajali radiallahu anhu was much senior and elder, and he was the leader of his Qawm Banu Bujayla, where he came from. He was the leader of, governor. Now when he embraced Islam in the year 10 after Hijrah, he only had few months in the company of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So he saw that Anas ibn Malik had done lots of khidmat of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So while they were traveling, Jarir ibn Abdullah would do his khidmat. So Anas ibn Malik said, "I'm only young, Hazrat, you are." And Hazrat Jarir ibn Abdullah said, "No, khidmat of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that whenever I am in the company of Ansar, I will do their khidmat." So you see where khidmat takes you. Ansar, they did so much khidmat with their nusrat. Our Tablighi Jamaat talks about hijrat and nusrat. Muhajirin did the hijrat, they migrated from around Medina Sharif, from Makkah, from Taif, from Usfan, from other areas. Ansar were those who lived in Medina Sharif. They did nusrat. Hijrat and nusrat both go together, then deen goes forward. So Ansar did the nusrat of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. They sacrificed everything, and they also earned special du'as of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He said in one hadith of Sahih Muslim, "Allahumma ghfir lil ansar wa li abna'i ansar wa li abna'i abna'i ansar." Allah, forgive all the Ansar and the children of Ansar and the children of the children of Ansar. And he said, "Al-Ansar la yuhibbuhum illa mu'minun wa la yubghiduhum illa munafiq." Ansar are such that only a mu'min who has iman in his heart will love Ansar, and only a munafiq will hate them. Who has nifaq, he will hate Ansar. Otherwise, a mu'min will never hate Ansar. A mu'min will always love Ansar for the sacrifice. So Ansar, their sacrifices, their children and their sacrifices, this is how Islam went ahead and it was taken forward. In this day and age as well, we youngsters, we have to offer some sacrifice. We have to go out in the path of Allah. We have to invite other people. We have to call them towards Iman and Yaqeen. And believe me, when we call others towards Iman and Yaqeen, the first person to benefit is ourselves. Our Iman increases. Ask those brothers who go in the path of Allah. When you talk about Iman and Yaqeen, even in Gasht, you're a simple person, but you see to the other person, why we believe in Allah, we believe in Akhirat, we have to die, we have to go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will be a question about our deen. When you talk that, then it comes in your own heart and you feel like, practicing on what you're saying yourself. So, this is the benefit of da'wah work. You have to go in the path of Allah. And this da'wah work is all about building our iman and yaqeen and strengthening our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is why I recited to you some ayat of Quran. And all the ayat talk about one word, da'wat. Da'wat, da'wat, da'wat. Inviting, calling people. In Surah Hamim Sajda, how beautifully Allah says, وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِّمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. Whose words are more beautiful than those of a person who invites people to Allah and he says, I am also a Muslim. وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. I don't boast over myself or my actions or my a'mal. He is humble. He invites people and he says, I am a Muslim from among the millions of Muslims around the world. I'm no one special. Allah said, Da'a. You know, one hadith says, Man da'a ila huda, kana lahu min al-ajri mithla wujudi man tabi'a. La yanqusu dhalika min ajrihim shay'a. If a person calls someone towards hidayat and guidance, then all those who follow him and come to hidayat, he will get sawab of their amal as well, and this will not reduce their sawab. Imagine, Hazrat Maulana Ibrahim Sahib Devla, Hafizahullah, Damat Barakatum came here in 2019 in the Ijtima in Blackburn, and Hazrat mentioned this point in there, and he said, if you go out for Gash and you bring 10 people for namaz, then the namaz of those 10 people, whatever their sawab they get, you will get that sawab as well. And he said that you cannot pray one namaz 10 times, you can only pray one namaz once. But because of you, our 10 people came to the masjid, you will get the day namaz sawab as well. And Hazrat then mentioned one incident. He said that in Malegaon, he was in the work of da'wah, but our Jamaat brothers are smiley, good sense of humor, good nature, happy, jolly, hasmukh, khushmizaj. So he was a khushmizaj person. He used to joke along. And once we were talking, you know, I went to that area, and he says to me, Hazrat ji, मैंने एक तबलीग का मुखालिफ था, उसकी जिंदगी एक प्याली चाय में खरीद ली. There was a person who was against tabligh, but I took his whole life's a'mal with one cup of tea. So Hazrat ji कह क्या बात करता है, तो एक कप चाय में पूरी जिंदगी खरीद ली. कहाँ Hazrat? मैं गया था एक इलाके में, वहाँ लोगों ने कहा कि दिस मैन है, ये बहुत हमारे खिलाफ बकबक करता है, हम बहुत डरते हैं उससे. He talks bad about it, he criticizes a lot, we are all scared of him. So I said to them that let's go talk to him. He said, no, we are scared. He said, no, I will talk to him. And he said, call him over for a cup of tea. So they went to that area and they called him over to this tea stall, chai ki dukaan. I said, let's have a cup of tea. So he said, I paid for a cup of tea. And then we spoke and talked at length. And during that conversation, I convinced him that tabligh, da'wah is a good work, it's not a bad work. It's something which changes life. This reminds me of our friend by Saeed Anwar Sahib. Right? He comes here regularly, well, not for some time, but once we were sitting here, and he said that, you know, I went to this Maulana, who was a Salafi. He's Imam in his local Masjid in another town. He back home in Pakistan, he's from our area, so he knows me and I know him. And I heard that, you know, he talked bad about tabligh. So I said, let me go and visit him. So we went in that area, it's somewhere around, you know, really beautiful area. So we went to that masjid, and I told him, phoned him, and I'm coming, I want to see you. And he said, all right. So we sat down with him, you know, we talked. And then I started the conversation with him. I said, you know, yeah, you are my friend. You know, I'm not talking about the line from Quran and Hadith and everywhere. I just want to ask you one question. You see that tabligh is bad for it, and it takes people astray and gumrah kar deta hai, logon ko mislead karta hai. You see this, that is gumrahi and everything. Answer me one question. Are people coming to the masjid and praying namaz and their iman, yaqeen building up due to tabligh, and people going out and calling people, is this good and this hidayat spreading or not? You answer me that question. He thought for a while, said, yeah, people do come to the masjid after tabligh and inviting and da'wat. So he said, well, that means that hidayat is spreading through tabligh, right? And he said, yeah, hidayat. Well, look, if the tabligh work is dalalat and gumrahi and error, then how can hidayat be spread by dalalat? How can misguidance be spread? How can guidance be spread by people who are misguided themselves? Misguided people cannot guide people. Are you following me? जो लोग खुद गुमराह हो वो दूसरे को कैसे राह बताएंगे, है ना? वो के खुद गुमस किरा रहे बड़ी गुनाह. So gumrah people cannot bring people on the right path. So if people are brought on the right path, people's iman is building, yaqeen is building, they come closer to the deen, their lives change, they become namazi, parhezgar, tahajjud guzar. If this is spreading, then that means that tabligh work is a work of hidayah, it's not a work of gumrahi and dalalah. And he said, you are right, you got me there. And from then on, he stopped criticizing tabligh work. So imagine just one light-hearted conversation, change the whole perception of that imam, of that Salafism. So over here as well, Hazrat Maulana Ibrahim Sahib said that, my friend, he said, मैंने एक कप चाय में उसकी पूरी जिंदगी खरीद ली. We sat down, talked to him, and whatever misconceptions he had, objections, ishkal, i'tiraz, right? I gave him answer to all those things. I said that no, this is not what we do, this is not what we say. We only talk about iman indeed. Whatever belief you have, whatever amal you have, whatever way you pray your namaz, we have no objection on the way you pray. You can pray your namaz the way you want. Iman, build your yaqeen, be strong, strengthen your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's all we want to say. So he said, yeah, I understood. And then he says, I didn't let him stop there. I said, well, you've understood now, then you have to come with us for 3 days. Come to the Masjid, no, I'm not coming. You've understood the work, so you have to come. Right? This is like, when you invite some Guriya, non-Muslim to Islam, you say, yeah, I understand everything. So, kalma padho? Yeah, I'm not doing kalma. So what do you say? Well, if someone tells you that this biryani is delicious, he mentions all the fazail and the virtues and the taste of that biryani, and then he says, now go for that. Then that's wrong, right? If you mention some delicious dish, then you have to feed that as well. So we mentioned to you the beauty of being Islam. Now we want you to taste it as well. Feed kalma shahadat. Aa jao, Islam mein dakhil ho jao. Udkhulu fis silm. Islam mein aa jao. So Hazrat Maulana says, my friend told him, you must come with us for 3 days. So you can come inside, come with us and understand our work properly. And he had told me. He came for 3 days. And then we said, increase your days. We 10 din control it. 10 din बढ़ा दिए. उसके बाद तो माशाल्लाह पक्का तबलीगी बन गया. So the person who was against tabligh became proper tablighi, and now he is doing the work. मैंने एक कप चाय में उसकी जिंदगी खरीद ली. With 1 cup of tea, I brought his. Because whatever work he does now, whatever good comes out of him, he will also get sawab from that work. Because of the hadith, من دعا إلى هدى كان له من الأجر مثل أجور من تبعه لا ينقص ذلك من أجورهم شيئا. Whilst we are at it, I mentioned the second portion of the hadith as well. What did Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam say in the second portion? ومن دعا إلى ضلالة كان عليه من الوزر مثل أوزار من تبعه لا ينقص ذلك من أوزارهم شيئا. If someone invites and calls another person towards sin, then he will get the saza and punishment of doing that sin, as well as the sin of all those who committed that sin because of it. You get it? On the opposite side as well. If you are a gangster and you call people towards taking drugs, you sell them and you make them take drugs, you will not only be questioned about your own consuming of the drugs, but all those who consume those drugs because of you, their sin will go on you as well as on them. And this sin will not decrease on them. You have to remember that. I mentioned the incident once of that Arab alim. He said, I was once in our local masjid, And I, participate in the janazah as well. Janazah mein bhi shareek ho jaun. I joined the janazah salah. Then I thought, well, I'm not busy, I've got time. I might as well go to the Qabristan graveyard, get thawab of tadfeen, tadfeen as well. So I followed the janazah. After burial and everything happened, he says, in Arab they have a custom that in the graveyard, all those people who come for burial, they meet the relatives of the deceased, they hug them, console them, say some words of ta'ziyat. So as I was giving tasalli to them as well, I saw this young boy standing on a corner, he was crying a lot. So I went to him and I consoled him. I said, young boy, why are you crying so much? Don't cry. And he said, this young man who's just been buried, he was my brother. And he pulled his phone out. And he said, this is his phone. He used to stay in bad company. He used to get dirty photos, dirty videos. And he used to watch these things from YouTube and elsewhere. And he used to forward them to his friend, that you also watch this dirty stuff. He died in an accident suddenly. And he says, he's gone in the qabr, but these videos which he sent out, people are still watching them, they are still spread out on his account, on his social media, and he's still getting guna in his qabr even after his death. You see? As long as people are still watching those videos and those photos and doing all the dirty stuff, which he passed on WhatsApp, on email, on social media, he told people to do these bad things. Even after his death, he's getting guna in the qabr. He's getting that guna in the qabr. Don't do anything bad. And if you do bad, and then you do tawbah, Allah will forgive you, right? But if you invite other people to do that bad stuff, you might have done your own tawbah, but they have not done their tawbah. As long as they are doing that sin, you will keep getting guna. As long as you are the sabab, you are the reason of that guna and that sin, because you initiated that sin, you told them to do it, and they passed on to others, and they passed on to others, then they passed on to others. As long as that thing is being passed on and on through you, because of you, you will keep getting guna and sin of that act as well. This is la yanqusu dhalika min awzarihim. So it works both ways, my dear brothers. Friends, you go in the path of Allah, you invite people towards Allah, you call them to Allah, then you get thawab of your hard work, and you get thawab of all those who do the good because of your effort. Similarly, if you call people towards bad, and the bad is committed because of you, you told your friends to do it, as long as they keep doing it, you will keep getting guna. So be very careful in this way. Da'wah works in both ways. Da'wah of good, man da'a ila huda, ila khair, and da'wah of evil, dalalat, shar. So that will also have an effect. This is why Allah said, وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ. The most beautiful words are of that person who calls people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he is proud of himself. And alhamdulillah, shukrulillah, innani minal muslimin. I am a Muslim. Islam is something to be proud of. Iman is something to be proud of. Not something to be ashamed of. Don't be ashamed of being a Muslim. Be proud of being a Muslim. Alhamdulillah is the religion preferred by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, this is the meaning of the ayah. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. Other ayah, أَدْعُوا إِلَى اللَّهِ عَلَى بَصِيرَةٍ أَنَا وَمَنِ اتَّبَعَنِي أُدْعُوا إِلَى سَبِيلِ رَبِّكَ بِالْحِكْمَةِ وَالْمَوْعِظَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ. Nuh alayhi salam's da'wah. So these are all ayat which talk about the work of da'wah. Tabligh, Ya ayyuha rasul, balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik. Deliver whatever is revealed to you from your Rabb. Ballighu anni walau ayah. Deliver from me, even if it's only one ayat and one verse. You will get thawab for passing on that one ayat and one verse to another person as well. So do the work of tabligh, deliver it to other people in whatever way possible. Allah will do. So this is today's talk about Iman, Yaqeen, work of Da'wah. You have the office, right? You're doing nothing at home. Go out in the path of Allah. If you're young, go with your father, your parents, or your elder brothers, and then go with your grandfather, your uncle. Go in the path of Allah and learn about your beautiful deed. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to do this work. We'll hand over to Maulana Luqman Sahib who will do tashkeel, and then inshallah we'll make final dua.
I don't need to mention much words, mashallah, Hazrat Maulana. But I do request everyone to be patient for the final few moments of the program. Inshallah, straight after the tashkeel is done, dua will be made, and then food arrangements have been made for everyone. However, what's more important than any of this, any of the food arrangements and everything else, is that we need to now get ready to go out in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maulana mentioned in regards to Iman. Iman is the only thing that is going to save us. It's the only thing that is going to give us satisfaction, only thing that's going to give us strength under all circumstances. We are seeing our Muslim brothers and sisters in the world at large. There is nothing that is giving them any help at all apart from their Iman. Only their Iman is keeping them strong. They are losing their children. They are losing their homes. They are losing every single thing that they have spent decades trying to earn, but at the end it is only their Iman that is helping them. So all of us youngsters, there's nothing that's going to help you in the years that are going to come, and they are going to be harder, stronger, more difficult than ever before upon our Iman, and there's nothing that's going to save you. No cars are going to save you. No looks are going to save you, no muscles are going to save you, no homes are going to save you, no degrees are going to save you, no clout, no popularity, no views, no likes, nothing is going to save you. Doesn't matter how good looking you are, doesn't matter what car you drive, doesn't matter what home you live in. All of this is absolutely meaningless. Only thing which is going to help you is your Iman, and this is the work and effort of Iman. So respected brothers and elders, young ones especially, now this is the time where we stand up and we make intention that I want to change my life. All youngsters, do we all want to change our lives? We all want to do it. There is nobody that is happy right now. I am happy to leave the dunya. I am happy to pray my kalima and I am happy to leave the dunya. Nobody is in this position. We all want to change our lives, and the only way you can change your life is by giving something up for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have your holidays. In these holidays, the time is going to be spent in haram. That's the truth. The bottom line is, you may think that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but the effects of Hizb Shaitan, the army of Shaitan, is so strong right now by social media, by internet, by movies, as Hazrat Maulana mentioned, that as soon as you leave the doors of school, college, university, in them 10 days, you will blacken your soul, you will blacken your Iman, you will lose everything. But if you go out in the path of Allah, by an oath of Allah, guaranteed you will change your life. You will love that time when you come back. You will say, I spent the best time of my entire life. You will feel connected to Allah. Nothing will matter to you anymore. When you go back, your looks won't matter to you. Your bank balance won't matter to you. Only thing that will matter to you is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now we have a time, brothers, make intention. We have individuals who will stand up to do the tashkeel. Brothers, make intention to go out in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Out for 10 days. First and foremost, the first tashkeel that's going to be made is 10 days giving up for Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to change your life. There's nothing more. Allah will change your life, guaranteed. So brothers, make intention for 10 days. When's the Jamaat going today? 22nd of December, a Jamaat is going out for 10 days. Brothers, give intention to go out for 10 days in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. MashaAllah. Shu'aib, 10 days in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Zakaria, 10 days, MashaAllah. 10 days for God. Talha, 10 days. 10 Abu Bakr, 10 days. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Keep the names coming. We've got lots of very senior youngsters who are going to be taking these Jamaats. So keep on giving your names. No number is too less. Keep standing up. and we need all these boys to get together and to work hard on the deen. Brothers, keep making the intention. Ali? MashaAllah. Huzail, 10 days. MashaAllah. Ahmed, 10 days. MashaAllah. Hafiz Muhammad for 10 days. MashaAllah. Hafiz Abu Talib. MashaAllah. Mubashir, how many days? 10 days, inshaAllah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Brothers, keep giving intention. This is now a time, if it's come in your heart, you've not bought it in your heart, it's Allah who's put it in your heart. So if it's Allah who's put it in your heart, get up straight away. Don't think about now. Allah's put it in your heart. He knows whether you've got the finances. He knows whether you've got the time, and He has put it in this from the 22nd. We've got about 8-9 names so far. Many brothers. MashaAllah, Brother Rafi from Al-Falah, 10 days. Hafiz Rafi, MashaAllah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. MashaAllah, Uncle Harun, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. He's an individual who gives day in, day out. 4 months every single year in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. 4 months. That's a third of a person's life. Can you imagine that? We find it hard to give 3 days. 4 months every single year in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For us to give 10 days is nothing. Brothers, stand up and give 10 days. Youngsters, you know, you've not got women, wives to worry about. You've not got homes, you've not got bills, you've not got kids, you've got nothing. Just a few movies to give sacrifice. Few little things. Give that sacrifice, Allah will change your lives. He will bring deen in your life. He'll bring deen in your children's life. Brothers, make intention, inshallah, 10 days. We need more names, inshallah, for 10 days in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On the 22nd. It's coming in your heart, mashallah. By Musa, inshallah, for 10 days. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Even be in another masjid, renew your intention, inshallah. MashaAllah. Sufyan for 10 days. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, MashaAllah.
Inshallah, 7-10 days Jamaat of Zakaria.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. 7-10 days Jamaat. Imagine the amount of youngsters that will be going out, bringing the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right now, this is what we need. The biggest thing that we need is these youngsters to go out, giving that qurbani and standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam do in the battle of Badr? They were against all odds. And at night he is putting his hand in front of Allah, that his rumal falls down. His rumal falls down and he says, "Oh Allah, if this Jamaat is defeated, there is going to be no one who is going to do your ibadah." And Abu Bakr radiallahu anh says, enough, enough. But it was then du'as that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts. So imagine 7 Jamaats going out, youngsters going, crying for the ummah. This is what we need. Brothers, make intention. 7-10 days, Jamaats from Zakaria Masjid, brothers from our own masjid, make intention. Few more brothers for 10 days, mashallah. Hafiz Muhammad for 10 days. Forgot name again? Muhammad as well, mashallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Brothers, more intentions. More intentions to go out. So much effort is being made from the opposite side. We need to stand up and be real men and make the effort from our side. 22nd, 10 days Jamaat. Should we push for 5 days? Oh, mashallah, sorry about that. Yeah? Abdur Wahab, 10 days? Mashallah, fantastic. MashaAllah, Arsalan, from the 22nd, 10 days, both brothers, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept you both and accept your family and grandchildren, your family. Best of this dunya and the akhirah. Brothers, keep making intention. This is the life-changing opportunities. If we want to also be leaders, like our respected Ustad, you can all be leaders. Every single person in the ummah can be a leader. If you want to be a leader of tomorrow, you need to start down here. Make the sacrifice and Allah will make you lead the ummah.
Masturat Jamaat going?
Masturat. Inshallah, these youngsters are going to go out, they come back, get married, and they take their Masturat. Inshallah, may Allah accept. MashaAllah, Khalid. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Khalid, how many days? 10 days. Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Fantastic. Let's come on, make intention, make intention. Come in your heart, you have to, we have to make an intention to go out. Next Jamaat that we've got is 5 days. 5 days is something that we should all be able to take time out to give 5 days in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We take out 5-10 days for so many things. You give that 5 days, and guaranteed by the end of that 5 days, you will be connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So brothers, make intention for 5 days. 5 days from the same date, 22nd. Yeah, from this 22nd. Another 5 days, Jama'at. Brothers, come on, 5 days. We've got 10 days, brothers, 5 days in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Muhammad, all eyes are on you right now. MashaAllah. You have to stand up. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Abdur Raheem, inshallah.
MashaAllah.
To be Sheikh Abdur Raheem tomorrow. MashaAllah. Junior. MashaAllah, may Allah accept. MashaAllah. Muhammad for 5 days, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Suhail, inshallah, for 5 days, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Brothers, keep giving your names. 5 days is something that we could all try to give. Amongst ourselves, if we feel that a brother just needs a quick nudge, and give him that bit of inspiration and tell him, go out in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If individuals can give 4 months every year and give that qurbani, it's not as if they are free. They all have lives and families to look after, but they are giving in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. 5 days, brothers, 5 days in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Come on, youngsters, stand up and make intention. MashaAllah, brothers, 5 days, 5 days. We've got a few brothers, more intentions. MashaAllah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Forgot your name? MashaAllah, Adam, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. 5 days in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's more intentions for 5 days. Anybody, I thought you put your hand up there. Almost was there. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Amen. Okay, final call is something that we can all try to make an intention for. Is 3 days. From the 28th. From the 28th of December, 3 days in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is usually a time where people will be busy in doing everything against the command of Allah. Brothers, make intention for 3 days from the 28th. Whoever has it in their heart, stand up, brother. Stand up. MashaAllah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. What's your name? Hanan. MashaAllah. 3 days from the 28th. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Brothers, 28th. We should all be able to stand up, put our time schedules forward and backwards in order to give for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. 3 days. Who knows that 3 days we could be leaving the dunya in that 3 days. And that 3 days we are out in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The best time, the best place we could be. Let's make intention for 3 days, inshaAllah. MashaAllah. What's your name? Abdullah, MashaAllah, may Allah accept. Your name is? Muhammad, MashaAllah, may Allah accept. 3 days.
Muhammad Limbada.
MashaAllah, Muhammad Limbada. MashaAllah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from the 28th. MashaAllah, Maulana Naeem from the 28th, inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Fantastic, may Allah accept, inshallah, full Jamaat. Sorry, you'll have to stand up as well. Have you got knee problems? Just to stand up and giving that sacrifice, we know we don't want to. Allah knows we don't want to, but when we stand up, Allah changes our life just by standing up. May Allah accept. 3 days from Baisuhail. You guys, sorry, you're going to have to take your dad. MashaAllah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Inshallah, the week before I make an intention. What's that? 22nd. 22nd, inshallah, 3 days Jamaat with all the Hifz class boys. 3 Hifz classes. All of them make intention. We'll all go out in Jamaat. The Ustads as well. That's my, inshallah, try to take it on. 1 full Jamaat from the Hifz class for 3 days. Inshallah, our Muazzin, Alauddin Bhai, inshallah, 3 days with our Jamaat, inshallah. Muiz, mashallah, 10 days. You're in Hifz class right now?
Yes, he's
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make your journey of Hifz easy for you and your brother, mashallah. Brothers, 3 days now. 3 days, final call. 3 days from the 28th of December. Brothers who have not made an intention yet. Abdullah? Jihan? 22nd. Inshallah, jihad, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Ali? Inshallah, may Allah accept. Brothers, make intention. Final call is for 3 days. 3 days to go out in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have a beautiful gathering full of youngsters. Again, on Saturday night, they could have been relaxing. They are in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. And we make dua during this time, especially where our respected Sheikh Abdur Raheem Sahib, who has given his time for us. We are very, very fortunate. We are very blessed. It's a very favorable situation for us to be sitting in the gathering of the ulama and to be able to benefit from their words of wisdom. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him and his family the best of this dunya, the best of the akhirah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him a long, healthy, happy, pious life for the whole ummah, inshallah, to benefit from all the amazing work that he has been doing for decades and decades on end. For as long as we can remember, he has been serving the deen day in, day out, and this is what we all need to be working towards. Respected brothers and elders, this is a time where not just one individual is needed, thousands of us are needed in order to preserve the iman of the next generation. If we want to preserve the iman of the next generation, it's not a one-man's job. It's going to have to be all these youngsters who are going to stand up. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the intentions of everyone, accept all the efforts of everyone. Bhai Yusuf is telling us that brothers who have already made intention, alhamdulillah, you can also get one or two other brothers ready. If you get one or two other brothers ready, then inshallah the effort, as Hazrat Maulana mentioned, that if you call somebody towards good, inshallah you do not know how much is going to change his life. You do not know how much that 1-2 days is going to change his life. So try to get other brothers ready. Try to make an effort amongst your friends. And inshallah, by us making this effort amongst ourselves within our communities, next 2-3 weeks, if you've made an intention, remember, Shaitan has already, like we have written a list now, the group of Shaitan has already written a list now. They've written a list that Muhammad is there, Hanan is there, Mubashir is there. You're all on that list now, and you're all going to be targets now. And they're all going to sit down, right? Mubashir has made an intention now. Next 3 weeks, we're going to have to put the whole dunya in front of him. We're going to have to say, oh Mubashir, guess what? This is going to come up. You need to study for your exam, which is never going to happen. I already know that anyway, impossible, yeah, regardless, yeah. You're going to have to start studying for exam, Mubashir. Mubashir, the whole house is not going to run without you. This is going to happen. Now these next 3 weeks, you're going to have to stay strong. Every day renew your intention. Stand in tahajjud and say, oh Allah, I made the intention, make it easy for me. Oh Allah, I made the intention, make it easy for me. Until the last moment. Like I said, I didn't want to take too much time. We've only gone slightly over. I will leave it for Hazrat Maulana to finish. After the dua? Yeah. So inshallah, I'm going to request Hazrat Maulana to make dua, all brothers inshallah together will make dua for, we are as an individual masjid right now, making dua for the entire ummah. We know the situation and the suffering that is happening out there. And like the Prophet ﷺ said, Al-mu'minuna karajulin wahid, the believers are like one person. In ishtaka aynuhu ishtaka kullu. When the eye hurts, the whole body hurts. Wa in ishtaka ra'suhu ishtaka kullu. When the head hurts, the whole body hurts. Right now, the whole body is hurting. The head is hurting, the hands, the feet. We're in so much pain as a ummah, and we all should be feeling that pain. After the dua, all those who have made intention are requested to go to my far left of the masjid. Inshallah, we will just be making arrangements and nizam for how the jamaats are going to be. The logistics will take place. So all brothers, after the dua, the far left where the ta'aleem usually takes place, brothers are requested to make their way towards there. And after the dua, food arrangements have been made for everyone. Food arrangements have been made for everyone. So calmly, quietly, especially the young ones, give preference, for the elderly to make their way downstairs first, and in a calm, collective manner, we make our way downstairs. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all the brothers who have made the effort in organizing the majlis and the gathering. I will leave it over to them.
Just one thing, these programs will be taking place elsewhere as well. Join them. Next week on the 9th, we have the show, inshallah, on the 9th. तो उसमें जाने की कोशिश करें, शामिल हों, इंशाल्लाह अल्लाह के रास्ते में निकलें. बहुत फ़ायदा होगा, बहुत फ़ायदा होगा, बहुत फ़ायदा होगा. As Luqman Sahib said, it will be a life-changing experience for you, inshallah. You will get that boost of iman which you need. May Allah accept. Now you might be thinking, why is not something I'm going on the 21st until 30th of January, 3 weeks. Malawi and Zambia and South Africa. These are programs here वहाँ पर. ये भी अल्लाह के रास्ते में ही जाना है. बहुत थक जाएंगे. दुआ करो अल्लाह हमारा सफर आसान करे. खैर व आफियत से ले जाए. दिन की खिदमत की तौफीक कबूल फरमाए. दुरूद शरीफ पढ़ लें. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد ان لا اله الا انت نستغفرك ونتوب اليك. اللهم لك الحمد كله ولك الشكر كله ولك الملك كله بيدك الخير كله واليك يرجع الامر كله لا نحصي ثناء عليك انت كما اثنيت على نفسك. الف لام ميم الله لا اله الا هو الحي القيوم وعنت الوجوه للحي القيوم لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين. لا إله إلا الله الحليم الكريم. لا إله إلا الله رب السماوات ورب الأرض ورب العرش الكريم. اللهم أنت الله لا إله إلا أنت. أنت الغني ونحن الفقراء إليك. أنت القوي ونحن الضعفاء إليك. اللهم أنت أحق من ذكر وأحق من عبد وأنصر من ابتغي وأرأف من ملك وأجود من سئل وأوسع من أعطى. اللهم أنت الملك لا شريك لك والفرد لا ند لك. كل شيء هالك إلا وجهك. لن تطاع إلا بإذنك ولن تعصى إلا بعلمك. تطاع فتشكر وتعصى فتغفر. أقرب شديد وأدنى حفيظ. حلت دون النفوس وكتبت الآثار ونسخت الأعجال. القلوب لك مفضية والسر عندك علانية. الحلال ما أحللت والحرام ما حرمت والدين ما شرعت والحكم ما قضيت والخلق خلق والعباد عباد. وأنت الله الرؤوف الرحيم. نسألك يا الله أن تصلي وتسلم وتبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد. وبك ندعو في حلول الأعداء والجبابرة. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي الأمي نبي الرحمة. كما تحب وترضى عدد ما تحب وترضى. كلما ذكره الذاكرون وكلما غفل عن ذكره الغافلون. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين. اللهم اهدنا واهد بنا واهد الناس جميعا واجعلنا سببا لمن اهتدى يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعلنا هادين مهتدين غير ضالين ولا مضلين. سلما لأوليائك وحربا لأعدائك. نحب بحبك من أحبك ونعادي بعداوتك من خالفك من خلقك. اللهم هذا الدعاء وعليك الإجابة وهذا الجهد وعليك الإيمان يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين يا أكرم الأكرمين يا أكرم الأكرمين يا أجود الأجودين يا راحم المساكين يا ناصر المستضعفين يا ناصر المستضعفين يا ناصر المستضعفين يا حنان يا منان يا بديع السماوات والأرض يا ذا الجلال والإكرام يا حي يا قيوم يا حي يا قيوم يا حي يا قيوم يا عليم يا حليم يا علي يا عظيم يا عليم يا حليم يا عليم يا عظيم يا عليم يا حليم يا عليم يا عظيم. برحمتك نستغيث ونستغفرك ونسألك التوبة. أصلح لنا شأننا كله يا رب العالمين. Oh Allah, you are the most merciful, most kind, most generous, most forgiving. Allah, we beg you for your rahmah. We beg you for forgiveness. Allah, please forgive us. Allah, please forgive us. Allah, please forgive us all. Allah, please forgive all our sins, major and minor, the ones we committed in broad daylight, the ones we committed in the darkness of the night. Oh Allah, the ones we committed in private, the ones we committed in public, the sins we committed on the TV, sins we committed on other social networks, mobile. Oh Allah, you know our sins. Allah, you have the ability to forgive us. Allah, please forgive us. Allah, please forgive us. Allah, please forgive us. Please wash away all our sins. Allah, please cleanse us, purify us. Allah, remove the effects of the heart, or the effects of the sins from our heart. Allah, remove the dark patches of sins from our heart. Allah, bring the nur of iman, nur of yaqeen, nur of hidayah in our heart. Allah, give us complete guidance. Allah, guide us. Allah, strengthen our iman. Allah, give us the tawfiq to spend some time out in your path, in the path of Allah. Give us the tawfiq to go with this message to those who are searching for house, to go around inviting people in gush, to listen to the bayan, to correct our tajweed, and to listen to the ta'aleem and everything that good that takes place in the house of Allah during the work of da'wah. Allow us to spend maximum time in this work of da'wah. Parwardigar Alam, those who have made intention to go in your path, Allah, help them to fulfill their intention. Help them to materialize what they have intended. Protect them from the evils of shaitan and the evils of nafs. Allah, give them the tawfiq to spend more time in your path. Allah, those who are still thinking about going out, Allah, help them to make a strong resolve and go in the path of Allah and increase their iman and bring steadfastness of iman and yaqeen in their heart. Allah, keep us all strong on our deen and iman. Allah, please have mercy upon us. Allah, please forgive the whole ummah. Allah, please have mercy upon the whole ummah. Allah, forgive the whole ummah. Elevate the whole ummah. Allah, protect the whole ummah. Allah, conceal the weaknesses and the faults of those, especially our brothers in Pakistan, in Masjid in Gaza, in that area. Allah, we through so much that I do nothing but make dua for them. Allah, you are the king, you are the bishop, you know everything, you have everything under your control. We know this is your taqdeer, we know there is some good in for us. Allah, the bombs and the attacks that have taken place. Allah, protect them from the genocide that is taking place. All the homes are being destroyed, everything is demolished. Allah, 1.7 billion people have been, Allah, moved away from their homes. Allah, men killed thousands of homes destroyed. Allah, please have mercy upon them. Allah, please give them sabr and sukoor. Allah, those who have become shaheed, elevate their rights in Jannah. Those who are left behind, take care of them, protect them. Those who are injured, give them shifa. Those who are sick, Allah, give them shifa. Those who are hungry and thirsty, provide food and water for them. Those who are not well, provide medicine for them. Those who have no roof over their head, Allah, who are homeless, have mercy upon them. Allah, provide shelter for them. There's a severe winter ahead of them. How will they stay in that cold, in that chill? Allah, protect them from the severe cold. Allah, protect them, take care of them. Have mercy upon them. Allah, those who are carrying out this genocide and tyranny, Allah, if there is hidayah in them, please give them hidayah. Allah, and those for whom there is no hidayah, Allah, remove them from the face of this earth. Deal with them in the manner which they deserve. Allah, you dealt with Firaun, Haman, Qarun, Namrud, Shaddad. Allah, you have the power. Allah, your wisdom is beyond our imagination. Your power is, we cannot estimate your power. You are powerful. You are Qadir, you are Qadir, you are Qahir, you are Qahhar, you are Aziz, you are Jabbar, you are Muntaqim. You have the power to do everything you want. You are Fa'azun liman yurid. Allah, we beg you to have mercy upon those who are in distress and who are going through tough times. And we beg you to the silence in manner which they deserve. O Allah, have mercy upon the whole Ummah, Muslims around the whole world. Spread hidayat and guidance throughout the whole world. Spread hidayat and guidance among the Muslims and the non-Muslims. Allah, make these halat a source of spreading hidayat around the world. Allah, due to these halat, let people read Quran Sharif and the meaning of message of Quran Sharif. Bring people into Deen Islam and make it a cause of hidayat for Muslims and non-Muslims around the world. Spread the word of hidayat everywhere. Allah, accept the word of da'wah and tabligh. Allah, those who are into this world, protect them, take care of them, take care of our Amir, our Mashayikh, those who have passed away, those who are founders of tabligh, who work so hard to take this work around the whole world, and present Akabir. Allah, take care of all our Akabir, all our Mashayikh, all our ulama kiram, Allah, who are connected to this work. Allah, have mercy upon their grave. Shabbos who are alive, protect all time in Afiyat. Allah, protect all the Jamaat that have gone out in your path, who are running around, who are doing so much hard work. Allah, protect each and every Jamaat that is in the path of Allah throughout the whole world. Allah, Masjid and all, Allah, Satis who are in the Da'wah world, and also those who have intended. Allah, take care of them, protect them, allow them to take maximum benefit from the time they spend in Masjid and going out and inviting others to your path. Allah, have mercy upon the whole Muslims of the whole world, and Allah, mercy upon the non-Muslims as well. Spread hidayah around the globe, and Allah, keep us strong on our deen and iman. Accept our efforts, accept this gathering, accept and reward those who organized it, reward Imam Sahab and the Masjid Intizamiya committee and our Tablighi brothers, reward them all for their hard work, their fikr, their concern. Allah, and make their full and spread hidayah around our town of Bolton and around the whole UK and around the whole world. Allah, give us all the good things which your beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has from us. Protect us from all those evil trials from which he sought your protection. Many brothers requested us to make dua for their problems. Allah, remove their problems, help them, remove their sufferings, whatever need they have. They might be in some muqaddama court case, help them. They might be immigration problem, remove the immigration problem. Allah, some problems of shadi, marriage, nikah, remove those problems. Allah, give us all a life of safety, security, afiyah, and accept our heart. Be pleased with us. Give us all the good things which your beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked from you. Protect us from all those evils which he for your protection. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
Separate arrangements have been made for ulama. So all of our requested ulama are also requested to make their way downstairs, the first room on the right, inshallah. And those brothers who have made intention, the Raheem area, which is my left hand side of the masjid, are requested to gather there.